Hey guys, this is Brandon's Baseball Blogs. Here are my predictions for WWE Backlash. That honestly, between Dominic Mysterio and Penta, those two are really good wrestlers. And Dom is the current champion. He just won it at WrestleMania. And Penta has took WWE by a storm. Honestly, I do really respect and I do like Dominic and Penta. And I honestly just have this weird feeling that Penta is going to win, but I also have this weird feeling that Dominic is going to win. I don't see Dominic losing his title because he just got it at WrestleMania. So I honestly think that Dominic Mysterio is going to retain his title, and then I think between Lyra and Becky Lynch, I think that Becky Lynch is going to win. I hope Lyra wins. But honestly, what Becky said, which is true, if you take your eye off something, you're going to lose. But literally, she is focused on winning. I haven't seen Becky Lynch this focused in a really long time. And this is her first singles match since over a year ago. And honestly, I just have this weird feeling that Becky Lynch is going to win that match between her and Lyra. But I hope Lyra wins, but I think Becky is going to win that match. Between Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre, I think Jacob Fatu is going to retain his title. That's what I'm predicting. But honestly, if Solo gets involved and costs Jacob the match, I think that Drew McIntyre is going to win the match because of that. If that happens, that's the only reason why I could see Fatu losing the match. But if LA Knight does win the title tonight, he will become a Grand Slam winner. That's what I heard. So I honestly think it's going to be a good match, no doubt. But I think Jacob Fatu is going to win. I hope Knight wins or Damian wins. But I just have this weird feeling. It could be Drew or Knight or Jacob. But honestly, it's going to be a good match. Between Gunther and Pat McAfee, I hope Pat McAfee wins and gets revenge on Gunther. And between Jey Uso and Logan Paul, I think Jey Uso is going to win because he just got the title at WrestleMania. And he also is the reigning champion. He just got it. He worked his butt off for 14 years to get a world championship. So I think Jey Uso is going to retain his title. I think between what was it? Oh yeah, John Cena versus Randy Orton. I just have this weird feeling Randy Orton may win, but these two have had a great rivalry. I think John Cena is going to retain his title. But honestly, I don't know, I just think Travis Scott may try to come out again to distract Randy Orton. But honestly, I could see Cody Rhodes maybe coming back to cost Randy the match or help Randy win the match. But honestly, it could go either way. But it's going to be a good match. And those are my predictions for Backlash. And I hope you guys have fun. This will be on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Here's my best friend Randy to give you his predictions for Backlash.
So here's my predictions, okay? So John Cena versus Randy Orton. Everybody knows John Cena is a 17-time world champion. He broke a record. So he's the final champion. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever, final champion, whatever. Cool. Good for you.
I'm just happy he won it.
Still love you, John. I predicted you to be 17-time world champion before this timing. I predicted it in 2016. Then 2017, when you tied up the record of 16 times.
Yep.
And then lost it to Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace to you, Bray. And in 2017, which I was watching that pay-per-view on Peacock before I was leaving. So, good luck first. So, my prediction is John Cena is going to retain his title, but it's not going to be a fair retain because everybody's thinking that Cody Rhodes is going to return and turn heel on Randy Orton.
Because The Rock said not now, but soon.
Yes. So the first time, and this is a really cool thing why I'm saying this, because the first time Cody Rhodes turned heel was when he turned on his tag team partner, Hardcore Holly, which I think he passed, so rest in peace to you, Hardcore Holly. But he turned heel on Hardcore Holly, and do you know who he joined? Randy Orton, the Legend Killer.
Yep.
With Ted DiBiase Jr., which his Hall of Famer father is Ted DiBiase Sr., the $1 Million Man.
Yep.
So they created a group called Legacy. But I feel like Cody's going to turn on Randy or try to distract John. This could be both ways, is how I'm saying it. Either he's going to turn on Randy or he's going to try to distract John, screw John, or he tries to distract John and fails, and then Randy still loses. And then Randy's going to get pissed off at Cody, and then that's where Cody turns heel on Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler. That could be anything.
Yep.
Then Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. Woo! You're known best for boxing and your freaking drink, Prime. Thank you, Prime.
Prime is a good drink, I've heard, but I haven't tried it.
Prime, but I'm not gonna lie. Logan Paul is an amazing wrestler. This is his second World Championship match.
Since losing out on the United States.
Well, no. He lost to Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, and then he won the United States title, and then he lost the United States title to L.A. Knight. Yeah. So I feel like Jay's gonna retain. But if you remember that WrestleMania, Logan had his team out there with him and the brass knuckles and try to screw over AJ Styles, and then someone's gonna go out there to save Jay. But I feel like Logan's gonna fail, and he's gonna go having a hissy fit because he's like, "Oh, I got screwed for a world title again. Do you know who I am? I'm Logan freaking Paul." So I feel like Logan Paul's gonna have a hissy fit after he loses his second world title match.
Do you think Sammy could turn on Jay or no?
Yes. I feel like after Jay retains, I feel like yes, Jay will hug Sammy, or they'll have like a bromance, and then Sammy just goes bonkers, dude.
Yeah.
Then we got Lyra Valkyrie and Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Becky Lynch, but I'm not going to lie. She's a very good wrestler. She's married to a very good wrestler. They have a beautiful daughter that has a disability. Love that family, but I don't like them both. I predicted Seth screwing the Shield at WrestleMania. Why do you think when I went to WrestleMania 30, he tried to give me a fist bump and say, "Get out my face and sell out. Move on your day."
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he was a scum of the earth. But, all right, so, yes, Becky is a top wrestler. I don't get why Becky and Lyra win the tag titles and then lose it after. It's whatever. But I feel like if Lyra messes up, because I feel like Becky is very smart where it comes to, if you don't be smart when it comes to Becky.
Yeah.
Becky will smart you in ways you won't know, and then she'll win.
True.
But Lyra is a very good wrestler. She's a very high quality wrestler. Peaches!
So do you think, so you're predicting?
I'm predicting Lyra if she doesn't mess up.
Okay. What about Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight, Priest,
All right, so
and Drew McIntyre for the United States?
Thank you.
Bless you.
So I feel like Jacob Fatu is going to retain. But everybody's saying, like, oh, Solo is going to somehow screw over Jacob Fatu. So, I don't know. I'm going for Jacob because he just won the United States title. So I feel like he's going to retain. But I feel like, don't get me wrong, Damian Priest hasn't been a main championship in a while since he lost the world title.
Yeah.
First main card title was the United States Championship after he got drafted from NXT to Raw.
Yep.
That was during the dome era when they were in the Silver Dome, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And then he won his United States title in that. He had good matches. He had a match with Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. Retained that title in that triple threat, and then he lost it to Finn. That was when Finn turned heel.
Yeah, and
God, that's when Finn came back to the main roster from NXT and turned heel and went after the United States title, and then he lost the United States title to Andrade, I think.
Yep, and what do you think about Penta versus Dom?
Okay, so if Judgment Day is not barred from ringside, definitely Dom, but like both Dom and Penta are good wrestlers. I would say either or, but I hate to say this, but Dom is really spot out coming out as a high quality singles wrestler since they kicked out Rhea and
Damian,
but like I hate to say this, but they need to bring Damian and Rhea back to the Judgment Day. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm just being completely honest because it started off with Rhea, Damian, and Edge, then Finn Balor. Then they kicked out Edge. Then they brought in Dom. So it's just not the same without Rhea and Damian.
I understand. And what do you think about Gunther versus Pat McAfee?
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not all about revenge, but if it's a very serious term of revenge, if it's a right term of revenge, not the wrong term of revenge.
Mm-hmm.
So my opinion is I want Pat McAfee to win so he can get back at Gunther. Because every time Gunther loses a title, because this is not the first time he lost a title at WrestleMania. The first time, Sami Zayn, he did the same thing to Pat McAfee. Second time, he lost to Jey Uso. Did it again to Pat McAfee. So that's why they suspended him indefinitely. And I understand Pat McAfee's frustration. Like, why would you suspend him when I want my hands on him after what he did? So they gave him what he wanted. But the fact is, I want Pat McAfee to win either way because I want Pat McAfee to win his fourth match.
True. I do want to say...
Everybody feels that Gunther's going to win, but I want Pat McAfee to win. Because you got to understand, you never out-doubt the underdog.
I do want to say thank you for doing these WWE predictions. And this will be on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything.
If you never know, like, subscribe, tap that post notification, and comment below and tell us what you want us to talk about next. And Cheerios.